Hello.
Hello, and welcome to our last Omen movie review.
Yep.
This is our last review of the Omen.
The Omen franchise.
We're calling this the Omen
Marathon.
The marathon. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
You said the title for us. So.
Yep.
This one has Julia Stiles playing
The amazing Julia Stiles.
the overrated Julia Stiles. No one's
Yes.
She's overrated. She's good though.
The underrated Julia Stiles in horror movies.
I said overrated.
I know, but she's underrated.
She's good, but she's overrated.
She's underrated.
Overrated.
Underrated.
Anyhow, she's also with Lee Schreiber from Scream and Scream 2 and Scream 3 and I think a few other things, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But they're the couple in this movie. They played Lee Remick and Gregory Peck from the original in this movie, basically.
Yes.
And now Lee Schreiber is going to be the ambassador of Rome. And same scenario as the first one, like almost to a T in the beginning. Not like dialogue verbatim, but basically the same exact concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
The baby dies, but they kill it, and then they give them Damien Thorne, and then said things happen with everything. So, there's a few more deaths in this one. There's a few changes, but they don't change a lot in the grand scheme of things. They're just more like different for the movie. But they don't change, like, the story, if that makes sense.
And the deaths are a lot more gruesome than the original.
They are, but I don't say they're as powerful.
Yeah.
They're not as impactful, but they're more, like, supposed to be, like, more gory because they're trying to make it more modernized. So, like, they add a lot more gore. Like, the decapitation scene isn't as memorable, but basically, like, it's this hammer that hits this thing and it knocks, like, this this sharp metal post sign thing down and swings around, and then the bottom half cuts off his head.
And this time we get to see his body flopping to the ground.
Yeah, his body stands and squirts out blood for a few seconds before he hits the ground, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then
Mia Farrow's death is kind of cool.
Her death is just getting hit by a car, which is actually really funny.
Yeah,
it's funny.
She's so old. He ran her down.
It's funny. She's just like coming up the side. She's like, ah, and then he like runs her down. It's hilarious.
Mia Farrow plays Mrs.
Baylock. And you know what? She's not like it's a very different like vision of the character and different portrayal of the character, which is kind of fun for people that have seen the original one because it's not the impression you're going to get with it being just this evil nanny. I mean, the name gives it away if you've seen the original movie, but if you didn't, she seems like she's not that scary. Like, she seems very normal in the first, like...
She seems like grandma.
In the beginning of her... Yes, in the beginning of her performance, she seems completely, like, innocent, like, totally, like, warm, and...
And the way she kills Julia Stiles in this one is just so... And
then she, in this one, she doesn't knock her out window. She, like, injects air she injects a needle full of air into her IV that's pumping medicine into her arm that slowly kills her. She's like, it's almost time. But, like, her portrayal is a lot more, like, wacky and not as much scary. It's more, like, loony. Like, and... I mean, she's still scary towards the end, but she's not, like, creepy and overbearing and, like, evil.
She doesn't have the actual devil.
She doesn't... Well, yeah, the original woman...
she looked like the devil, man.
She was really scared. Just really scary. She was intimidating.
She had that 70s horror vibe.
She did. She had, like, this almost, like, evil teacher kind of vibe, almost.
Yeah.
But, like, evil babysitter. I mean, we talked about one of the scariest babysitters ever in the movie, but I still liked Mia Farrow in this movie. She did a great job playing a very different Mrs. Baylock, and I loved it. The rest of the acting it ranges from okay to not so good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a fun movie. It's not as good as the other movies again, but it's all right.
It doesn't take quite the punch of the original.
No, it definitely doesn't. There's a scene where instead of the woman like jumping off after she says, "This is for you, doing this is for you," she like, "It's all for you," whatever. She jumps off, and in the original one she falls too, like the window, and the woman in the inside is like screaming. And this one she falls down onto the the concrete wall, not through the window, and then her shoe falls off and hits like a wine, like a tray of wine down beneath her, and then like spills
like
wine, supposed to be like blood.
Screaming.
But it's not the same thing as the original one where everyone's like dead silent and it's just this totally creepy, like, what the hell kind of thing. Excuse my language. But it's very different. Very similar shots, very similar kind of stuff overall, but just different. So yeah, but
yeah.
Where are we at? I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, we still got like
yeah.
Our poster's so red I can't even see our timer. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, if you like these actors,
I mean,
if you like this
movie,
if you like The Omen, if you like these actors, go ahead and watch it. I don't think it's a bad one. In fact, I think it's one of the better remakes out there. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
But it's still watching like this. I've watched all the Omen movies several times except for the first Omen. That one, obviously, since brand new, I've only seen it once. But all the other ones I've seen at least 3 or 4 times. And this one, you know, every time I watch it, I kind of feel like it's a little bit more like, okay, not necessary. But it's still good. And if you can't watch the original one, you can watch this one and you get the same story. You get the gist of what everyone's talking about when they mean the Omen. It's almost identical. Like, you can't... There's changes, but nothing that really changes the overall story, if that makes sense. It's just a different tone and ambiance. And when you're watching movies, if you're familiar with the stories and you've watched them enough times, it'll have a lot more of like that fearful. I think the first one's just so scary because of the music, the ambiance, the performances that drive this whole feeling of like a close-knit couple and then them falling to the ground in there to use big time serious actors. And Sony's acting for that time was a lot different than it is in the early 2000s, so it kind of had that much more like serious, almost like a classic theater approach rather than modern acting. So
yeah.
Kind of had that little bit more of that like dramatic flair, which made it, I think, stand out a lot more. So I mean, I don't know, Chips went out. I liked it. I gave it like 3.5, 4 stars, I think. Something like that. It was good. Nothing like amazing, but not definitely not bad, and definitely not the... I think I put this one as my second or third favorite Omen film. I forget which. Or my second or third to last is what I meant, because there's 6.
Yeah.
So like the third, I think second or third to my bottom, but I don't think any of them are that
this
bad.
This is probably my 5th favorite Omen film.
This is like my 4th or 5th favorite Omen film too.
I'd have to say Omen 4 goes before
You know,
this
I
one.
think I will too. I actually think I'll put. I think I did put Omen 4, but this one, because the Omen 4 is cheeky and cheesy, but like it's so much more entertaining and it's different. Whereas this one's like the same beat and it's
more
just
serious.
It's the same beat and it's just not as it doesn't have the same feeling as the original. It's like the same story, so it doesn't have anything really that's new to it. They try to like just flare up the original movie as well. I think it really is like a new retelling of the original movie is all it is.
But yeah, that's
more gore. Changes, but nothing like really like nothing like Terrifier level gore. Just like, you know,
moderate.
more blood, I guess. But yeah, doesn't really add to the impact. So yeah, I mean, I think this review is a little bit more like deadpan probably, but I think it's just the same. I think it's because it's like really just the same movie, just remade.
Yeah.
It's not like some remakes where it's like, oh, it's a different movie. This change, and you can like have like a real like opinion on it and really love it or hate it. It's sort of just there. I like it. I don't love it. It's good, but go ahead and watch it. The kid is a lot more obviously evil too. It's a little bit more of a forced performance. You're not saying he was bad, but he doesn't have the same or like the same like complex character, just the same complex, just the way that the original actor did in the original just was so effortless, and I don't think he was trying. I think this actor's trying to compare to something that he didn't have. So yeah, like I think he wanted to match that beat and he just couldn't. Yeah. If that makes sense. I think he kind of felt pressured to like match that, whereas the original one, it was just natural. So anyhow,
but yeah, watch it if you want. Like and follow for more.
Watch on Hulu. Thanks for watching, and like and follow for more.
Yeah.